Alright, so I'll be going over a viaduct here. First, I'm gonna go over the calls. This generally doesn't have much of a call, it's just like cliff, or whatever, cliff. This over here is this, just for this, I'm gonna call a woodcon. People just usually call it left or right, depending on which side you've spawned on. This area is generally called grass. This would be outside main. This would be main again. This is cliff. This is generally called bridge or something like that. This would be China. This would be side China. This is this is boulder here. This would be rock. Behind rock. This is called caution. Point as you know. Fakes. Counter. I call this Seagull because like this spot was popularized by Seagull, I think. Above main. And house over here. Aside from that, I don't think there's any callouts I might have missed. Anything else will generally be like, what's it called? Filled in, like, oh, he's outside main to the right or something like that. Most stuff doesn't need a specific callout. Oh, this is concrete too, I forgot. So, now for holding positions without the point, generally as a roamer, you're gonna be over here, or you're gonna be messing around somewhere around your combo, getting buffed, being ready to do stuff. So, when you're on the left side, basically you just wanna like chill here, not die, and be ready to push up when your team's pressuring forward. It's a good idea to generally peek and get a lot of info if your team is gonna push, because you don't want to be like surprised by like things that suddenly like are hiding here and then like run around the corner trying to rush you down. So I try to peek this a lot when my team is pressuring or about to push. Other than that, you have a bit of spam from this general area. Spam on the boulder if things are peeking. You can spam this boulder if there's something sitting up there. These angles are also not too bad. Can easily splash a guy in the back and connector. This is useful if you're like pushing down the stairs, etc. Making sure to use walls. Holding around, I would generally recommend if you're going to be like around your combo, unless like you're just about to like go for a bomb over a cliff, you want to kind of just like chill around on China, inside China. It's not too bad of a thing even if you have no one over here, because what you can do from this position, if anything pressures on the left, you see them peek over left or they push past it, you can bomb them, yeah, or you can like bomb behind them, cut them off if they try to back up, and get a really easy frag there. And it also puts you close to like being able to get buffed, and if you get like overrun on the flank, it's also a really good position. You do want to be wary of and like use your ears though for like anything that might like bomb from concrete, because like you can really easily hear like from which area a rocket might come from, and if the soldier, you'll hear like the soldier hurt himself, right? So you'll know if like a soldier's jumping from concrete, and you can like be aware of it. Let me see. You don't have like too much spam from these general areas, but you got you standing just like looking at these things splashing off the side of the rock. Also spam a sniper like this maybe. Generally you won't be getting too much spam off of this side. So with point, your standard hold spots are going to be on Seagull. Important thing with Seagull though is a lot of roamers, at least lower level ones, tend to like just sit up here for a long time and do nothing. I think this is a good spot to play if you think they're gonna push connector. Like, let's say they've been like really hard on connector, right? Their flank's been like giving you guys troubles. I'll like come up C-hole sometimes and just like gate them outright. Just like frag them as they come through. It's safe to get an air from 2. The main thing with it though is I think you should also like, it's not a position you want to like really be in a lot. I prefer to like go and push a connector. Connector is a pretty solid spot to pressure from because you can spam their pack, and if they try to like come up the left side here, you can just like spam this wall and it will like guaranteed hit them on the stairs, even if they like take it as wide as possible, I think. Well, people don't take it as wide as possible. And then if they like are on this thing, like it's also an easy rocket. And you've got like a little pack. It is easy if you get bombed though to like kind of get caught in it, so you've got to like use your judgment to not get caught out. The other spot that I really like, this one is it's a pretty powerful position, especially if like you just got the point, they lost a lot of numbers and they like will need to like re-enter. This area allows you to like get spam on anywhere, right? So like maybe let's say you have a scout who's sitting on cliff, he's spotting, he says, oh, they're coming out cliff. You can get like really easy spam over here, like a lot of 40s, just like tagging them, or 30s. You can also drop down to spam at main, which is useful. Not a lot of teams run at main. Also spam like that, but it doesn't go as still good if they're exiting. And you can still fend off the left side, though you can't completely shut it down as well. Because you've got like this little angle here, which like crushes anything on the stairs, as I mentioned before. There aren't too many other like positions you'll want to be in, like you would like be on the right side or anything with your team generally. I guess it's also important to know from connecting. Yeah, this way. Also, that shouldn't have too much use. I forgot to mention with crates though, you need to, you can like play this position a lot longer than you might think, but you need to like learn the limits and like also hit your shots to like maximize your effectiveness in this position. It's a little harder to get out than some because you need to, if you want to jump out for example, like, go like that or something like that. You don't like have immediate cover to back off. Whereas like let's say connector, right? Let's say you're right here, you're spamming, but like, you like get out a lot easier. You're like exposed for far less time. Now for more aggro holding positions, this one, I like this one kind of. You can block off the sight line over there, as you can see. There's this little gap between the curtain and the sheet metal. You can pretty much block off the sight line if you like edge up over here, or if you want to get up here, this works too. It allows you to get the jump on like anything that comes like concrete. Like let's say you're just chilling here and then your team's like, oh, there's something pushing up concrete. You can like just hop up here, or you can like jump it, or you just like crush anything that comes main. Now, part of what makes this position also so good is because like you see how there's a gap in main, something that like a lot of players don't consider is that like you can jump through this and like land on their side channel or land like and pinch on their pack. So even if they come up the right here on slope or cliff, you can easily just like jump behind. Oh, that was great. Easily. I guess Buddha doesn't work how I thought. You can easily jump behind. Get a flank on them from China, or you can like jump behind and land on their pack and flank flank their flank, maybe set up a pinch situation, or just cause a general distraction. Because like, let's say that they're coming up slope, and like you decide, okay, I'm gonna jump behind for this pack. They've seen you slope, right? When they walk up, or cliff. So when you jump behind here, the other team's flank is gonna know that you're here. So like, once you like land here, you can just like re-jump and get out. Or if their guy hasn't like pushed that much yet, you can like always strafe away and then go for their base cliff pack. Something like that. This position, I like this position a lot. It allows you to spam the left side and spot main really easily. You'll see them before they see you, and you can deny the pack for about like maybe 3 seconds if it's just like a single guy. Or you can like even fight it if you're like really gutsy, though I wouldn't recommend it unless like you had like an advantage. Like, I guess one way you could play it, for example, is like, let's say a guy comes out left, you know nothing that came out main, so he's like isolated, right? It's a soldier, so you get like 3 spam markets on him, so you know he has to go for the pack. Then like you back up and you like immediately jump, just judging on where like he is relative to the pack. Like if you hit him for like say 80 over here, like he has to run for, like walk for the pack, then like I might jump in and try to isolate him. Just cut off the sight line. There might not be enough time for that actually. I'm not sure on that one. Depends on if you feel like it could work, I guess. For other forward positions, their cliff is pretty good, but so the case in which you would play on their cliff is if like you guys don't have great numbers, you can get into a forward position and you want to spam. Kind of like on the left side a bit, but not as much. This is like, it's like combos generally go out cliff. I would go cliff if I wanted to like really slow their combo down, especially because they either go up main or cliff. They don't really go out left unless like, let's say you have a demo or something. So you just come up here, get your spam in. You might peek it early on just to see what's up, but you get like a spam rocket or 2 in, and then you get the hell out. You do not want to die at all in that position. You do a lot though by like exerting that pressure, even if you take a lot of damage, because like you can get healed really easily. Crossbow is like nuts, and like packs are abundant on this map. So China also kind of works. I don't like it as much because like I feel like spamming from cliff just like is in general better. You can like kind of get an angle if you like come up a bit, and then like you can jump out a lot safer. But I still don't think it's ideal. Let me see. So now I'll go over some hiding spots, then I'll go over bombs. So for hiding spots, I'll start off with the ones close to spawn. So this is a surprisingly unused hiding spot. I found great success with it every time I've used it. Of course you need to get to spawn to do it, but people generally expect it a lot less, even if like the comm is made, oh, rumors behind or something like that. This is a pretty nifty hiding spot. You can listen for like the shutters which open. Like you'll hear this one like further away. If you have like, if you're actually using your ears, you should know like which shutter opens, like the closer one, like you'll hear it close to you, etc. So this one works pretty well. You're like completely hidden. This kind of works, even if someone comes out that spawn. Generally, the way like people come out is like this, right? They won't see you in the corner, most likely. So this can still work, and like bomb if they come out main or something like that. Aside from that, there aren't too many like hiding spots that like I actually think have much worth in spawn. So in the connector to cliff, this spot is fairly common but also fairly unchecked. I recommend to you, like, the reason why I'm also showing these hiding spots is I don't think all of them are super effective. This one is pretty effective though. But you should get in the habit of checking hiding spots. There's too many players who don't check hiding spots like ever, and I don't know why exactly, but I guess it's like not a habit for them, but you should make it a habit. I also like pre-fire this all the time. Because like I never want to like get caught off guard here. Because if this guy gets the first rocket off, you lose. But if you get the first rocket off, you probably win. So yeah, pretty nifty spot. There's also outside cliff to the right here. This spot is also pretty good. I always check for it too. If you know they have a spy, you might just like shoot at it sometimes. I don't know. I don't always pre-fire it, but sometimes. This hiding spot is really common, still works fairly well. If they don't know that you got here, then like it's gonna work really well. But yeah, just main hiding spot. This one, I'm not entirely sure if it works. I've never like seen it used. Oh, I guess it does work. Just you'll want to be facing the wall a bit. I hope the rocket launcher doesn't peek out. I might be wrong. So that does work. The typical hiding spots outside of main are like here and here, or on this thing. This is like really obvious, like from cliff and other things, but you can get out really easily. Like you can jump like this, for example, and like you're out scot-free. This hiding spot is especially common. I always pre-fire this one as well. You'll find yourself getting a lot of frags by doing that, honestly. And then like I always like check hard left to this corner because again, like coming out, it's highly likely that you won't actually see if a guy's like just chilling in this corner, because like most people, they come out looking like this, right? So just make sure to always flank through your corners, because like I actually learned this from like dying to Broken here. Like he just like in one of my scrims a long time ago, he just like sat here one time, and like from then on I've always checked it, and like it saved me like once or twice. It's also a good hiding spot to use yourself, I think, sometime, for getting like the drop on flank members. Aside from this, I guess this is kind of a hiding spot, but I don't like it much. This is a bit of a hiding spot if you have point. You can do a bit with it, like maybe jump on the flank from behind, or like jump on their flank's face, or like re-bomb onto their combo like this. Not too bad. I already went up over this area, so that's kind of a hiding spot. House is also a bit of a hiding spot, but I don't like it much. It's just a really odd place to hide. I mean, you can chill here, and like you're gonna be hidden from like grass and stuff like that. You can maybe jump spot it because like people won't hear you jumping, honestly. Like it's a very distinct sound, but like um, in TF2, like there's just like so much noise that like people won't hear this. So I just to like mention, I also like probably play on this edge because like it's harder for like people won't be able to see you like as well if they look up or anything. And it's also high ground, will crush anything that comes here. And like if you use your ears a bit, like in this position, like you can hear like distinctly the wooden stuff, the wooden footsteps if anything's coming to you. Though I understand that like people don't play off of sound as much in TF2. This is also a bit of a hiding spot, not often used at all. I feel like there was a spot I'm missing. Hold on. Well, if there is something I'm missing, I'm not remembering it, unfortunately. Of course, there's a variety of corners that you can sit in that people might not check as they come through, but there's a reason why like some hiding spots are better than others. That's generally because like you're less exposed to certain angles. Like for example, if you're like chilling here, Like you can spot things cliff and like be completely safe and like know when they come out of main and stuff like that. But like if for example, if they come out main and they check their left, you're like in a really close quarters situation where like you're fully exposed and like I don't know, you'll get melted down without being able to do anything. This like gives you the advantage of like being kind of behind them and stuff like that. It's not too big of a topic, but so now I'll go over some bombs. I'll go over some simple ones, maybe a couple. So, as a small thing actually, so something that some roomers do, something that I did for a while is like I just like lead. I didn't look before I left, right? But when you're coming out like areas like grass, for example, like you want to like look around before you like jump anywhere, because like otherwise you might like find yourself like getting picked off by like someone who's like surprisingly forward or something like that. In which case like you can get mad, oh he's doing this dumb play or something like that, but like your jumping in the first place is what caused you to like get caught off guard and stuff like that, you know? So for jumps, common jumps that I use on mid, I like, sorry. This jump, you can get behind to main, something like that, or like land on concrete. Not generally recommended to land on concrete because there's going to be a flank player there most of the time. And then once you're behind main, I would probably go for their pack because you see there's going to be a scout on China a lot of the times. Then like you can like mess around behind for it. Another jump from grass side, this. Do the same. You can land on their combo too if you guys are I would delay this bomb though, I would if I was going to like commit on their combo, because your team generally won't be in position to actually capitalize until a bit later in the round. So maybe if you like come out here, you delay for maybe 3 seconds, then you like bomb into their combo, it will probably go better because their combo has probably pushed up a little more. Your team has pushed up a little more, they can capitalize off of what you do, etc. Sometimes I'll come Seagull and then like I'll jump around. That was a poopy jump, I know, but generally you can like land deeper, maybe here. I think like if you jump perfectly, you can land on their Seagull, which is kind of nuts. Other times I'll just flat out. I don't do that much though. I admit, like that's generally if we're like getting picks early or something like that. Maybe I'll like be jumping something like that. Or the flank already died, you know. Generally, if I'm gonna jump from here, I'm gonna like do it off the viaduct wall. You can land literally anywhere with that, okay? Like, you can land their cliff, you can land where I landed, you can land behind them, you can land on top of them, you can like be above them, shoot at them, and then strafe away. It's like you can do so much with this bomb. So yeah, really powerful bomb. And it's hard for people to shut down too. Like the only person who's like usually gonna shut you down is if there's soldiers fighting connector. And even then, like you'll exchange some spam with him, you'll pressure him back, and then you can jump if you're like healthy. And as a note, I am doing C-taps for all these jumps, but you don't need to C-tap for them. Like for example, this is probably that was a bit high, but I'm not gonna C-tap. You can still like, get to the general places. Let me see. My other, not really too. My main common bomb, I guess, is from cliffside. You just go off this, and skip over the boulder. You can land on their cliff or on their chine. Cliff is generally preferred because scouts, at least in the higher levels, they like scouts roll out China a lot, so you're gonna get denied easily if like you try to like land in their faces. It won't be good for you because you are coming in admittedly a little slow to like actually get on a scout's face. So like landing here where you have some cover, you can play all of this stuff, jump away to get the base pack, jump away into their spawn, etc. It's probably better to like land on cliff and stuff. And if there's nothing China, hey, just like spam down on these guys, jump, etc. Let me see. So, as I did discuss with hiding above main, you can jump to main, like land over here. This is, there are times where their medic's gonna be right side, so if you like, you can jump through main and landing, and you don't even need to like be close above main to do that. You can come high bomb onto them, etc. Because usually if medic's here, he's getting a pack or something like that, so it's even if you guys like half point and stuff like that, I wouldn't sweat going for that bomb. As a thing to mention too, like this bomb like gets you places, like you can go like anywhere with it. Like you just need to remember that main, like there's this huge gap you can jump through. Like it's pretty insane. You can also like do something like that. Probably land on stage. I don't know. High bombs are really good. People like if you go high enough, people won't be looking up high enough to like actually capitalize. They might not see you like in the first place. I've got a couple more jumps. So this is one of my favorite jumps, especially if like you're going for a force play and they've left connector open. Like let's say you're pressuring up for a force, or like you go for a 4-man sack, which I don't like as much as pushing up, but I'm not sure I'm gonna get into that, and that's right now. But this jump is like really amazing. Like you come from connector, right? And then you just jump in the doorway, like bomb off that. And this can like put you anywhere. It's going to allow you to get on the medic or anyone really, or just like get behind their cliff. This is, remember when I talked about the concrete position too? This is a bomb you can do from here. Let's say like something comes out left, or like, no, nothing comes out left, but one thing comes out main, or like a couple things come out main, but they're not dealing with you. Their team's pushing cliff, you hear from your team, so you can do this jump, and like you're bam, instantly behind them, and like you can wreak havoc. Should also show that one too again. Aside from that, not too many special or jumps I think I need to show. One thing I can mention is that you can do the boulder jump, shine like that. In fact, if no, actually never mind. I mean, I guess this is worth mentioning. I've tried to like incorporate that into like fragging the demo sometimes. But, like, you arrive to mid with like one rocket of like if you're actually trying to get onto the demo like that. So it's pretty unreliable to actually frag the demo. You can get fast into connector and do some like gimmicky stuff with it, like maybe jump over their flank's head, cause an instant distraction. But I mean, like it runs the risk of like dying instantly too. So I guess like this is also one. It's not as useful though. Maybe like getting like your teams in and stuff like that, and like it's kind of stuff. Let me see. So I'm gonna go over some miscellaneous stuff, like I'll go over a bit of like harassing here. Actually, this one spam angle that I found was nifty. It's probably, it hits better with the original, I'm sure, but like you can spam into main from this like little rock here. If you like climb up a little further though, it's like it gets easier. But talk about something that you can do, because like something that a lot of roamers have trouble with, I guess, is once they have the point, they don't always know what to do. They like think like you should stay alive, or generally you strive to, but a lot of them just like are content to like sit back and like, never like pressure with like opportunities they're given. For example, let's say their roamer is down, they're like the other team's like not really out and about and stuff. You can just like come from connector, you can go and grab these packs, and then like the guy who is like the guy spawning like won't have anything, right? Or like if he comes out, you can like be chilling here, spam, and then like attack, jump away, etc. Stuff like that. You can pressure a lot better. I'm gonna show you something that you should do when like when they're down a lot of numbers, or like, well, you should do this when you wipe them, and when they send in a 4-man sack or something like that, their medic gets out or whatever, and like they're gonna be getting a wave of spawners, they're building in spawn or something like that. You wanna like come up here, you wanna like, yeah, you wanna come up here and just like spam the door when they get their spawners to like take away their critics, because it does mess up heals a bit, just in general. Will slow them down a bit too, and will like mess up their stats. And then you can just like back up and like be content with like spamming in a forward position. They might try to chase you, in which case you like do even more damage, and like you're probably gonna be getting chased by like players who aren't with the combo, so taking away those crit heals matters even more, because like now they won't like have a buff coming out if they're like going fast, etc. Like if they got your medic or something. But a much safer way to do it, and the way you'll probably find yourself being more open to doing, is coming cliff. This is like if you can't like set up in a forward hold or something like that. Generally, you come cliff and you shoot into spawn. Like once you see, like you're holding tab and then you see, oh, they've got their numbers, so just like spam the spawn like their videos. Then you just like back the heck up. Maybe just say 3 or 4 bed, spam you jump away if they're coming. I don't generally like to sit around too long. Something that I do, I guess, sometimes is like I'll get my spam in the way, then like I'll chill, I'll run back to here, I'll see if anything's pushing this way. Generally a scout will be leading the way, and then like you can get some spam on him and then back up safer. If you were to like back up on top of here immediately, that would be like cutting off the line of sight, and they could easily like force their way through fast, and like you might get picked off, so you want to like maintain some vision on this before you back up. I should have clarified that earlier, sorry. I'm not the best at it. Talk about going behind a bit, hold on. So as you probably know, when you go behind, you want to like stay alive if you can, as much as you can. This applies for all maps, by the way. I see like too many players who just like they get behind and then they're like, oh my god, I need to go do something. Like no, just like stay alive. You're doing something by being alive behind. So a common thing that happens, I think, is like you get behind on a mid fight or something like that, right? And then there's a player chasing you, and you might try to like hold your at the pack. You might think that like you can't really do anything, like you can't jump over to that pack right there, like it's far away. You can't get back into the fight because like there's another guy coming from this side, maybe. Like let's say you jump behind on a mid fight, their roamer is like coming comfy, they have a scout shot, and they turn around to like fight you. Like you need to like just get into spawn. Like people like don't do it enough. Like once you get back into spawn, people, they don't forget about you, but they like will ignore you for a time. And so that allows you to do things like this, right? So like let's say you jump back into spawn, like they're coming for you. You see the scout up there, the soldier's there. You grab the pack, you jump back into spawn. You can camp here for a second and just like then like peek out, see if anything's chasing you, then like recommit from the same area. Like get on the medic or something like that, or flank from China. It's really effective. Cutting off line of sight and then recommitting is a really powerful tool in these cases where they need to like actually go back to the fight. It's also a powerful tool for forcing 1v1s if someone chooses to fight. One second. You should also, I'm actually going to give another example of that. So let's say that you kind of bomb a little late on a mid, right? And you land on... No, you come from the viaduct, okay? And you do this shot. reload your rockets, and then you literally rebomb from this angle. So what happens if you do this is like, you do your bomb, you're high up in the air, people are looking at you, they might be shooting at you, they're probably shooting at you, scouts are. And then they might like expect you to come from China. They might turn around in a second to like wait for you here, but they generally don't expect you to like immediately come back from the same angle, same area that you bombed into. I've done this like many times. I've seen like really good roamers do this too, and it just like catches people off guard really easily, and you should get like easy frags from it. Recommitting after you like block off line of sight is just like a really good idea. You can apply this concept to a lot of maps, I think. A lot of areas and maps. So some things that are really good from behind. I'll show you like the spam, right? I think that the ideal position to be in, like when you're behind like in a fight, is China, because it gives you like this wide range of like angles to shoot. It keeps you like really close to the enemy, so like they can't strafe over here, right? They can't back up slope. You're like directly on top of them. You get like a lot of damage out. You do need to be conscious of like things jumping you using your ears and like jumping or something like that. And like when you have to like back up and cover, because like even if like let's say you don't get a lot of damage, right? Like you miss a couple rockets. If you just back up and stay alive, you're like you have the potential to do that. So in this position here, it allows you to do that. You can easily jump away to like get this pack over at grass, or you can, let's say, do this. Sorry. Oh no, I missed it. You can like really fast get the cliff base pack without them even being able to really react to it or stop. And then like you can refight or like check things out, see if you can get back in, etc. It's just really powerful. You can also back around this corner and then again. But yeah, generally want to be a nuisance. If you can't get anything done, like let's say you can't get into that position, they're just like too hungry for you, your team's not really in position. Just like try to collect packs if you can, if not, get into spawn. Have some like really basic like jumps you can do over position to position, or pack to pack. I mean, for getting back into the fight, let's say like you're slow, like you went through spawn, your team is like coming in, and their team's forward and like really far forward. You can do a bomb like this to get into their team. Like this is if their team's pushing into your side. Otherwise, I'd probably just recommend coming up to China, see what's up. Or if there's like something China watching behind for you and you need to get back in, you can like jump past them like this or something. Other than that, same jumps apply for this whole area. Just in general, I think that China is like the way to go. Unless like you see a pick you can get, you can go for that like flanker guy, etc. Now, I'll talk about focusing snipers. You're pretty much going to be using like a couple of the high bombs I showed you, right? Or fast bombs. Those primary bombs are going to be the viaduct wall, the connector bomb, and the boulder bomb. Maybe from China, but that's kind of risky. So, with the boulder bomb, the advantages to it are that no one sees it until it's like kind of too late. It allows you to get onto cliff easy, it allows you to get onto the sniper China easy, and yeah, you should just be able to like frag him really easy if he's not like playing too far back for you. The main weakness though is if the demos are sticking to this. Like you have to be, if you can get a call on that, that would be pretty tight, because then like you can avoid jumping off the boulder, or like you can ask your team to shoot it, something like that, or try to like shoot it, or you can just like gamble on like the demo not deading. Like, let's say you have your team spam. If I remember right, if the demo's spamming pipes, like holding M1 or something like that, he can't dead his stickies at the same exact time. So if you force the demo to like spam you back, you could like maybe bypass the stickies. It's either that or just engage him in some other way, and then like you come up here onto the sniper. What's good about the boulder bomb too is that it allows you to get onto cliff or China, and isn't visible from either until like you're already in. So the viaduct wall here, this one is really good, especially if there's snipers China. You can generally get a lot of ground here because the only thing that might be spamming you is like a scout, because like generally teams won't have a roamer if they have a sniper. At least that's how it is a lot of the time. So you can come up here for relatively free unless the sniper's watching it. You can do your bomb. You can go behind and land on the sniper. You can land on him from the front. Or if you somehow take a lot of damage, you can go and get the grass. You can also land on cliff if he's there, and like you just need to get into the sniper. It will really open up things up for your team, and they can like kind of start pressuring after like you land on the sniper. If the sniper, I'll just go over this bomb real quick. Connector's really good because it cuts off sightline between the common sightlines between cliff and China. Like a sniper can still see you from cliff, but like look at where he needs to be to like actually watch connector, right? Like generally he might be here if he's watching this, but like he needs to like peek out to watch connector. He's not gonna generally be doing that, I don't think. He might, but either way, you're jumping from inside the doorway, so it's a harder shot for him to hit initially, and then like you can just like land on him really easily. So it's a pretty powerful bomb. If the sniper is playing rock, I haven't seen that much in sixes. Happens a lot in Highlander. Maybe I'm just like too out of the loop. Maybe I haven't played enough viaduct. I'd probably just like do one of the high bombs and like spam a rocket at the sniper while landing behind them, for example. Like, do something like that. Grab the pack and like tell your team, yo, get in. Oh my god, sorry. Then like after you grab the pack, you might want to go back up to China and get some like spam and just try to kill the sniper, something like that. But generally, I think your team should be like pushing like once you get spam on the sniper. Once you're like, yeah, once you're hitting the sniper. Oh, sorry, one spam angle I forgot to mention too, that is pretty nifty. Someone taught me this once. Is if they're like taking spam and stuff like that, they kind of like back up. Oh, I forgot a call, in fact. This is called nook or cove. One angle, if they're like messing around the backside, is you can come up concrete and spam this. Sometimes they'll hit things. It's better for Highlander, but so one of the last things I have to talk about is the forward hold. This is something that a lot of people mess up without like without knowing it at all, and it's honestly really annoying to see like how poor people's forward holds are, right? So like generally, most of the team will be doing it right. They'll have the demo here, they'll probably be holding it fine. They'll have a scout here, generally, who like can support him and stuff. You're gonna have another scout who's like rotating around. And have the scout, if I remember right, it's gonna be like a scout like a scout there who rotates around to help. But anyway, but roamers should honestly be pushed up to this door, in my opinion, and like be peeking this doorway to like stop things from like entering prematurely. Because like when people forward hold, this is what they do, right? They just like sit here, pockets like around here, maybe like looking into main, so roamers like right here. They just like spam this, and they generally they don't even do it well. I'll get into that. So roamer, you should be like getting buffed fully, and then like you peek forward, you like control this, you just like peek in and out, just like spam this little doorway, prevent them from coming here. And Then if they start coming, you just like back up, you play this angle, you alternate spam with your pocket, or your pocket should be alternating spam with you. That's the key to like doing things like shutting down pyros and stuff like that. But yeah, there's not much else to it, honestly. If they're coming main, I would leave it to your scout and soldier to deal with, honestly, and like I would push it into this left side. That's another thing. When you're playing like aggro here as a roamer, this gives you the opportunity to flank into spawn, which is a very valuable opportunity, because like see this, like if they go main or cliff, they're not gonna generally be trying to send someone through here, okay? If they do, it's like late flank member, and like you keep them out, and like you come back into the safety of your team. You guys have Uber or something generally, most of the time, half the time, maybe, I don't know. But you pressure anything out, and if there's nothing here, you get like an easy flank. So let's say they go main, you just jump behind them, you flank main. If they're going cliff, you just like go behind them like this and like flank cliff. And yeah, just like kind of crush them no matter what they do. Like that's part of the real strength of the Freya forward hold, in my opinion. I think. Yeah. Just make sure you one also small thing about like the benefit of like playing aggro up here is that like pyros get surprised. Pyros like will come like this, right? Maybe check this, but like they're not gonna come out like peeking it like this. So you'll generally catch them in the doorway for 100, they won't react to it. And then like if they try to push forward, you've got this, they can't deflect that. You're gonna like actually like destroy the pyro before he even gets to a point where he can do anything. I think like pyro's like I just think pyro's dumb. Sorry. I could be wrong. I haven't played enough. I don't think. Oh god, I got water on my mouse pad. I don't have enough water, in fact, dude. Yeah, I just remembered the last thing I have to talk about is breaking the Freya forward. The way I've found like most effective, like from playing for a while, is so you get your scout to he's either scout, pyro, or heavy. He as any class, he like runs through this and just like soaks up damage. And then both of your soldiers come from behind, like bomb the medic and stuff like that. Oftentimes, you will actually get like a pick, or you'll get a pick and a force. Honestly, it's like not uncommon at all. I think you do that because like you're putting out so much damage with 200 and 300 health soldiers, just like fighting like 2 soldiers and maybe a scout. Plus, like you can land behind them with like the group guarantee from the scout or pyro or heavy getting melted. So it's honestly just like really effective to do that. So you sacrifice to like eat all the spam, and then like you jump from behind. Important to mention, you need to like jump from behind in the doorway. Like you don't come out here and jump. Like that makes no sense. Like then you're gonna be eating spam as well, and like your guy is like taking damage for nothing. But as a last thing in regards to that, you should definitely keep in mind the rest of your team should like be wary that things can flank through spawn, like going through main or cliff, probably cliff. And as the last thing I guess I forgot about, sometimes I'll do this, it's really cheeky, really unreliable, especially because demos should react to this. Like sometimes I'll get a buff and like just jump around if he's like not protected by a scout. Because it's a 175 health target, you can frag him like push him really easily if you can get through the stickies, but generally unreliable. I wouldn't recommend it as much. So yeah, that's about it. Hope that